So with the announcement of Grand Theft Auto 6, we've basically had, like older vehicles and newer vehicles that were introduced within the game. And I simply wanted to talk about the fact that the older vehicles that you guys can see, those are vehicles that were made like 15 years ago or more actually. Like those are GTA 4 vehicles. Those are outdated vehicles for a game like Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, I hear you guys coming saying, "Oh, but um, those are those are gonna be refurbished and remastered or whatever, new textures and new interiors." And I get the idea, but what I'm trying to say is, if those vehicles, like those vehicles, they're based on specific vehicles, right? Like you take the Impalete Ruiner, that would be a Camaro from the 1980s, right? Now, if Rockstar was to make a 1980s Camaro today for GTA Online or for GTA 6, it absolutely wouldn't look like the Ruiner we have today, and it would fit the newer vehicles they're planning to put in Grand Theft Auto 6. But instead, what we have is the old school Ruiner, the Ruiner we are used to, in GTA 6 alongside all of those vehicles. And the Ruiner is not the only vehicle. I'm just talking about the Ruiner because I like Trans Ams and Camaros. But I'm not a fan actually of the design of the Ruiner. I wish it was more close to its real life counterpart. Now, the Ruiner, so yeah, it isn't the only model. As I was saying, you also have the Bobcat. For example, the Bobcat, that Chevy truck. So if it was to be released today, again, it wouldn't look like that. But again, Rockstar is using 15-year-old vehicles. Like, this is just not right. It's I'm not saying they should remove the vehicles. I'm just saying they should choose a path. They should either go one direction or the other. Either you make GTA like vehicles or you make real life like vehicles. And it seems that for the most part, they're going with real life like vehicles. Like we've had very recently in GTA Online, but actually it's been quite a while now. In GTA Online, vehicles have been looking more and more like their real life counterparts. And if it was them being made by the time GTA 4 was out, they would look totally different from their real life counterparts. But again, so you have this weird blend of old and new vehicles that really just don't fit together. I mean, the opposite of that would be using like those mods you see in GTA San Andreas, where they'll basically use like hyper detailed models and then they'll just mod them into San Andreas, and it just looks wrong. It just looks wrong with the low detail PS2 environment of San Andreas. Now, I have nothing against the fact that it's a low detail PS2 environment, but the cars that go along with San Andreas go along with the world of San Andreas. The cars that were made for GTA 4 go along with the world of GTA 4. I've tried modding GTA 4 with real life cars, and it just kind of feels wrong. Now, I know not everybody feels that way because the world of GTA 4 is detailed enough for some people not to see a issue with that, but I'm pretty sure that plenty other people actually I've read on Reddit, people who are actually saying that no, you shouldn't place real life vehicles in your GTA 4 because they will look just wrong in they'll just look wrong in a GTA 4 environment, and they're actually not wrong. And so the same thing can be said about GTA 6. Why are we using 15-year-old vehicles in Grand Theft Auto 6? Why are we bothering? And I don't know if those vehicles are simply placeholders. Like I've also seen the Stratum. See for example the Stratum. Like I guess yes, it can be remastered, but I mean the Stratum is just like there's nothing like it. I think close to it in real life. Or if there is, then again it's a blend of different vehicles, and the Stratum itself was made not to be too close, to its real life counterparts. But again, if there were to make a Stratum today, it absolutely wouldn't look like the Stratum we have in game, and yet they're using that in in GTA 6. Now, maybe an example that will actually get more people to think about the issue is the Grotti Carbonizzare, or whatever. I don't really know how to pronounce this name, but so yeah, it's been seen in the GTA 6 trailer, and many people were actually happy it made a comeback. But really, when you think about it, that vehicle, that vehicle looks seriously like it's a GTA 5 OG vehicle. You know, it's a GTA 5 OG vehicle. It's not a GTA 6 nor a recent GTA Online vehicle, and it sort of just looks out of place. It lacks detail. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying it's a bad thing when it's surrounded with all of those crazy looking vehicles with good detail, and it seems like there was a lot of work put into them, and a lot of work to make them as detailed as possible, but also make them still look different. You know, I'm not saying the new GTA Online or GTA 6 vehicles don't look different. They do look different, but they're made in a very different way. The Carbon is there, you know, as much as people would like to ignore it, it's also over a decade years old. I mean, you know, it was there when the game released. It's an OG vehicle in GTA 5, and then that model probably was made way before the game's release anyway. And so, you know, most of those OG vehicles also have boxier curves, you know, because maybe the techniques or the software they use to bring those vehicles to life where, you know, maybe they ran into limitations. You know, plenty of people would say, oh, but there's also hardware limitations, you know, but actually it's a point that makes total sense. You know, Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5 were both games made to run on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 at the time. So having models with too many polygons, or the models that were way too detailed, would prevent the game from running well, and that's something to consider. That is absolutely something to consider. Rockstar should just choose a path, and I just hope these vehicles are placeholders. Even though I love the Ruiner, like I said, I'm not a fan of the design, but I like the Ruiner in GTA 4, for example. Why? Because it represents the Trans Am in the GTA 4 universe. It's different, but just like every other vehicle in GTA 4. But then again, it's just that if they were to make this vehicle today, it wouldn't look like the Ruiner we have right now. It would look like an actual Camaro, you know, just with you know the slight differences they they can make so that they don't get, you know, a lawsuit from Chevrolet or whatever. I mean Pontiac. I mean it's dead anyway. Um, but you know, I mean, I guess lots of car people or even GTA fans will tell me, "Oh, but you're just wrong. It's good to have old vehicles back." And sure, it's good. You know, it's good to have old vehicles back. But again, what I'm trying to say is that there's that weird blend of vehicles that just simply don't look great around each other. And actually, a good example I have with that is if you guys ever have the chance, play GTA 5 Story Mode again. Get off online, Story Mode again. You'll see how it's so perfectly executed, the way all of these OG vehicles just happen to, like, kind of like sand transmits this similar vibe that they all have, and it creates immersion. Even though those vehicles aren't realistic like the new stuff that we had in GTA Online, they're not as realistic. They're not as close to their real life counterparts, but they create that atmosphere, that GTA atmosphere, and they fit well together. And the same thing can be said about the GTA San Andreas vehicles or the GTA 4 vehicles. It's the exact same thing can be said about these. And so having highly detailed models in GTA Online, actually, that you are able to drive but that you cannot see, like you cannot spawn in the streets, makes the world of GTA Online laughable. That's why it's I mean, I wouldn't say GTA Online is a bad game, but it's clearly laughable to some extent. I mean, with the amount of crap that they threw into the world that they worked so hard to try to make believable, and so you're left with basically those brand new toys that we're used to driving, those brand new hyper detailed supercars or hypercars that people love to drive, next to those, you know, completely outdated, you know, at least for the way the new cars look, car models out there driving in the street. And so again, those models, they like detail, even if they're remastered. It's just in their design. Those vehicles just don't look right next to the new GTA 6 vehicles. and the GTA Online vehicles that we have. So I really hope this video sends the right message and gets people to actually think about it. I'm not asking anybody to agree with what I'm saying, but just to think about that, because it seems like nobody on the internet has ever covered that. People are mad again that vehicles are recycled, but I wouldn't be mad if it wasn't for the new vehicles. Like again, people are mad because yeah, the vehicles are recycled. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Bring the old Ruiner back. Bring the old Bobcat back. Bring the old vehicles back, but make the new vehicles fit their design, fit their that GTA 5 like GTA 4 like design. So that it kind of creates some sort of continuity within the OG. I mean the HD universe, rather than making those brand new flashy vehicles that look way too real. And it's not a bad thing. Again, people are happy with it, but me, I just see a problem with again the the lack of like it's just that those vehicles they just feel like they're from separate worlds, and it just looks weird and it feels weird. It's like it's like having car packs in GTA 5, but you only change like one car. Like one car is a real life car. Like it can be your taxi or your police car. It's just that's a change, and it just looks wrong in some way. But whatever. I hope you guys get to think about that. Maybe I haven't been uh, as in depth as I would have loved to be, but this being my only video, I guess, and this not being an actual channel, I don't even know if this will ever take off. But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day, people.